Projects, I've seen lots of them start and falter. They always start with a bunch of guys get around, they get a good idea, they say, let's make this happen, and they all kind of enthusiasm, but then after a while, a few of the champions, they fade away or they change, and the project kind of fades away and the resources, and people get interested in other things. Nanton stands as a classic example of how to keep a project going. And I have to tell you that Nanton and the museum here, and I've seen lots of them, Nanton is one of the finest aviation museums, certainly one of the finest in Western Canada.
The Nanton Lancaster Society was formed 28 years ago with the goals of honoring the Canadian contribution to Bomber Command and the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. Over time, it has gained both national and international recognition as a leader in commemorating the efforts and sacrifices of those who served with Bomber Command during World War II. The museum has current limitations.
Restoring aircraft that previously were just a fuselage, now they got 50-foot wings on them, but we have really ran out of space. At the moment, we're not sure where we could even put it. So we do need the expansion, there's no doubt whatsoever.
We were talking about the Bomber Command Museum of Canada not being able to fully reach its potential based on present space, the big need to expand. And here's another look at an aircraft, a rare World War II Cessna Crane, twin-engine trainer. You can see the model up there. That's what it looks like when it's restored. And unfortunately, while we are waiting to get more space for our expansion program, here's one of the aircraft that's going to have to stay in that position up out of the way at the roof joists until we have more room to restore. So you can see it's all there, but we need more space.
It has evolved into a facility that restores aircraft to a runnable, taxiable status. This ability is being constrained by extremely limited tarmac space and the lack of a suitable designated area from which visitors may observe the aircraft.
We're jammed in between the highway and the museum, and we can't really taxi an aircraft. We can't do it safely or properly. And we're limited actually to the number of people that can watch this happen, just because there isn't enough viewing area.
The Society is proposing to build a 33,600 square foot hangar facility immediately northwest of the existing facility with an adjacent 56,700 square foot tarmac and parking area.
So Dave, why don't you tell us a little bit about our plans back here, what we're going to see and what kind of phases are we going to see it in?
Well, we're hoping that 5 years from now, all the space between where we're standing now back to where that hedge is and over this way for some distance is going to be a huge tarmac rub.
Awesome. And where exactly are we going to see the hangar?
Well, the hangar will be beyond the tarmac farther west and kitty corner to the existing building now, so we can connect it up with the existing museum.
Now that we've got this expansion, obviously we're going to be looking at making a Nanton a destination instead of just a place to pass through. What are some of the things that we're going to see in the new hangar?
We'll see a large open area, beautifully painted floor, well lit with the Lancaster in the back corner, and a huge area in front, either for airplanes on display or for, if we arrange things, we'll be able to move those out of the way so there can be large functions in that building.
As well as a large open area for aircraft display and special events, the building will include additional interpretive display areas, an aviation art gallery lounge, a theater, meeting rooms, kitchen, and food preparation facilities, washrooms, restoration shop, and a storage area. The community involvement of this portion of the museum will be utilized to host major community events. The Lancaster will be permanently hangared in the new building and as one of the town's icons will serve as a backdrop for the events.
It's quite fascinating to watch when the big plane rolls out, to watch the cars and motorcyclists, etc. stop here to come in and see what's going on. The museum needs to expand, it needs more space, and I think as a town it is a critical part to the growth in our community, and I believe we need to reinforce that and help it along in its growth so we can demonstrate who we really are and celebrate those in our past that made it free for us to have these conversations today.
Well, the fingers that have extended out from this museum have touched a whole bunch of other places and other people. And more people are learning about us and are finding out that, hey, this little town in southern Alberta is amazing.
Having Bomber Command Museum here is already an enormous draw to Nanton and the area. And having a sympathetic, attractive expansion of that museum where we can increase the number of exhibits we have, increase the popularity and the draw to tourists and people from around the world that come here, visit the museum, move on to enjoy the other attractions of Nanton, go to the restaurants, go to the service stations, visit a shop, grab a coffee, hit a gallery or two. That can't be understated.
There are tens of thousands of people come through here every year. It's good for our town, it's good for our fame, it's good for our businesses, and it's especially good for our community and the spirit that it provides. If they get this building built, and it's not an if, it's when, because I know they will, the whole town will be very, very proud of this building.
In conclusion, the expansion of the Bomber Command Museum of Canada is inevitable for the town, for the school children, and for our veterans. Become a part of the Bomber Command Museum of Canada's expansion project today and help us capture the past for the sake of the future.